What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday. We are back, people, with Premier League action from tomorrow. Finally, the Prem is back. No more Euros, no more Copa America. So, listen, they've been good for the summer. Respect where respect's due, but listen, let's get down to business. Premier League action. Well, it actually starts tonight with Manchester United, but obviously, Arsenal get underway tomorrow as we host Wolves. We'll be doing a watch along for that. We'll be live from 2 p.m., 3 p.m. kickoff. And, we're going to get down to business, people. A lot of people have been asking about the FPL. The FPL code, everything. I've pinned it in the comments. So click the link and the code is there as well. So get involved with that. What we'll do a giveaway for the winner. So whoever wins it, we'll do some sort of giveaway for that, whether it's a new shirt or something, whatever. We'll do that, people. So get involved. I believe the deadline is in 4.5 hours, 6:30 UK time. So you've got about 4 and a bit hours to get involved. Click on that, Curtis Shaw TV League. And I'm taking it serious this year. You know, last year, I just kind of gave up on it. This year, I'm going for it. Yeah, Pep Guardiola settings. In fact, I'm not bigging up Pep because we're chasing Pep. Ancelotti settings, people. So, yeah, big up to everyone locked in. Hope you're well today. We're in subscriber-only mode again because I'm trying to push people to subscribe. We want to hit 80k this week and we want to hit 100k this year. So, get involved, subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you're all well on this Friday. And we got a lot to talk about, people. Mikel Arteta has done his press conference. We're going to look ahead to the game against Wolves. What team are we going to start? Who should we play in what position? And we'll maybe get a bit of waffle settings press conference reaction if they put it on the website in the transcript before we finish this show. We'll do some of that as well, people. So big up to everyone locked in. Hit the like button and subscribe. And as I said, if you want to join in the Fantasy League that we've done, it's pinned in the comments. Click the link, set up your team, and get involved, people. Are we singing S Club 7 today? Well, what was I saying? I was singing Spice Girls yesterday. That's what happens when you don't get the transfer window you want. You know, I'm a hip-hop fan, but I'm there singing the Spice Girls, you know. Sign a striker, man. Please, just solve this mystery we're all trying to deal with. Mitt said, hey, Curtis, I'm a silent follower. Been following you since 2001. Love the content. Stay blessed, brother. Big up. I love it when the silent followers come out. You know, there are a lot of people who watch the channel, don't make no comments. I love it when you come to the forefront and drop your first comment, you know. Big up. The fit is clean. Pause. Yeah, I gone with the blue settings, you know what I mean? Gone with the blue. Looking like Crystal Palace, but it is what it is. Let me read out these couple of super chats. Big up the Flying Dutchman. Hope you're well. Have you heard the new laws this season that won't allow blocking, pushing in free kicks and corners? That won't be good for us. Yeah, I mean, we scored a lot of goals from set pieces last year. It'll be interesting how that affects the game moving forward. Obviously, we've got, what is it? We've got semi-automated offsides, which is fantastic. I don't know why they've taken so long to use that. So that should make the offside decisions a lot easier to deal with in that situation as well. Tommy said, yo, what's going on, Curtis? Watching from, what is that? WNC. I forgot to ask you this yesterday. Would Daichi take Eddie to Everton one day? I mean, yeah, I'd be more than happy to take Eddie and Nketiah at Everton. I mean, we need someone to fill up the water bottles, to sweep the floors, and to tidy up the stadium after the game. That's the only way Eddie Nketiah comes to Everton, mate. If he's cleaning the place up, he wouldn't get anywhere near our team. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know, he's the Everton Ronaldo. I mean, he's injured for 6 years because he's chipped his toenail. But apart from that, what a player. I just saw him leaving the car park in a skirt and a handbag. But, you know, what a player. So, yeah, that's what Daichi thinks about Eddie Nketiah. He could go there as a cleaner, fill up the water bottles, put the cones out. He could be their cone man. Crozil said, yo, Curtis, locked in on tomorrow. I'm excited, even though the window ain't it. Listen, let's get one thing clear. Every Arsenal fan wants transfers. I'm like everyone else. Apparently an earthquake's just happened in Jamaica. Yo, hope everyone stays safe. Hope everyone stays safe. That's crazy. Hope everyone's well. Has that literally just happened yet? That's mad. Hope everyone's safe over there in Jamaica, man. We're playing football tomorrow at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, do you know what, right? I changed the settings on my camera. I'm looking real redskin today, man. I don't know if I need to go back and look at that. Ain't doing me good. I had that golden tan settings. Now I'm looking like a tomato. What's going on it? But yeah, we'll adjust the settings for tomorrow. But yeah, man, it's listen, Arsenal are back tomorrow at the end of the day. And that's what we're interested in. You know, if we get 3 points, I always say winning fixes everything at football clubs. Yeah, I'm moving like red, man. It's madness. Winning fixes everything at football clubs, man. You know, I'm disappointed we haven't signed a striker. Win tomorrow, I'll calm down a little bit. Not completely, but just a little bit. So, winning games is what needs to happen at the end of the day. Wolves tomorrow. Listen, on paper, it's a game we should win. Wolves were quite tricky last season. Won't be easy, but I expect us to win, to be honest. It was a relatively small earthquake, Big C. Everyone should be fine. I hope so. I hope so. Curtis on Twitter, I made a comment about why Arsenal gave Eddie 100k when he didn't earn it. A fan called me toxic and negative and said Eddie is better than Laka and Aubameyang. One thing I've noticed is Twitter is not the place you go to find, calm, level-headed opinions. It's the place to have an argument. You know, if your sky is blue outside now, if you tweet, my sky looks lovely and blue, somebody will tweet you and go, oh, you hate the colour red. Like, that's what Twitter is, I'm afraid. You've just got to understand what it is. And that's where we're at. You know, that's where we're at with it. Yeah, do you know what, actually, when I went Jamaica and was playing football over there, say, oh, Redskin boy. You know, this colour settings, what's going on with the camera today, it don't really help that reputation, does it? But hey, it is what it is. Right, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of transfers. There's not a huge amount of transfer talk today. A lot of you were on to me in the comments. Where's this Merino stuff you're seeing? This is where it is. Estadio over there. Deportivo Estadio, 133,000 followers. Not that that means anything, to be honest. They could still be chatting nonsense. But they're running with it in Spain. It's coming from Spain. It isn't in the English media yet, to be honest. But it is in the Spanish media. So I am running with it, people. I am. I'm not clickbaiting. I'm just running with what they're saying in Spain. Arsenal and Real Sociedad have reached a beginning of an agreement for Mikel Merino worth around 35 million euros between fixed fee and add-ons. The hope is that everything will be definitely closed this weekend. He's expected to be left out of the Real Sociedad squad for this weekend. And they've been looking for 30 million plus 5 million in add-ons. This is in euros. It'll be around 30 to 31 million pounds. And it looks like the deal is getting closer to being done. I did say yesterday that when this guy actually signs for Arsenal, it won't be that exciting because we've dragged it out for so long. However, we do want this deal to happen. And big up to you in the comments, Nifin Isak. And I've just seen that. So the English media are now picking up on it. And let's get that up as well so people don't just think, you know, this is coming from the Spanish media. Gary Jacob, who's usually quite a reliable journalist for the Times, has just put out there that Arsenal are closing in on this deal. So let's get that angle as well. There we go. Gary Jacob, Arsenal are closing in on a £29.8 million deal to sign Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad. So now it's in the English media as well. I know we've spoken about this guy so many times, and there'll be some of you listening in on this right now going, well, I heard this a few weeks ago. It's nothing to get excited for. It is happening now. It really is. We were always at the point where the deal was agreed with him. It was the club. The deal is now close to being agreed with the club. In fact, it's practically agreed with the club. As I said, for me, and I'm going to be totally honest with this, only based off what I've seen of him, I think he's a good player. I'm not sure. In fact, I don't think he's better than Thomas Partey. I'll be honest. I watched that game against Lyon. I thought Thomas Partey was fantastic in that game. And even at the back end of last season, I thought Declan Rice's game changed once Thomas Partey came into this team. You know, he was bombing on, he was scoring goals, he got his stats up. I still think Partey and Rice is the strongest Arsenal midfield with Odegaard just in front. However, we all know the issue. How many games can we get out of Thomas Partey this season? So, listen, it's 29.8 million. You've seen the prices that players are going for now, people. It's cheap. We paid more for Fabio Vieira, who's done nothing at this football club, let's be honest. So, what I will say, I mean, Dre just said there in the comments, you know, he better be a good player. I wouldn't be sitting here thinking that we're going to sign a superstar. Like, this guy is being brought in to do a job, to offer us balance. He's left-footed. I think the manager will be looking at Thomas Partey and going, even if you're better than him, are you reliable over a long period of time? I think you will see rotation. What we've got to understand here is he hasn't really had a pre-season. So I wouldn't expect him, let's say Arsenal signed him in the next 5 or 6 days. I don't expect him to be starting next week away. We play Aston Villa away next week, a very tough game. I wouldn't expect him to be starting. He's going to take time to get involved. So, listen, it looks like this deal is going to happen very soon. I would expect it maybe to even happen this week or the very latest, the beginning of next week. And I'm with everybody in the comments, right? I'm not that excited about the deal happening because we all got in that zone where it was like, okay, he's good, I'm excited. Then they dragged it and dragged it and dragged it. But you know, it's a player that the manager wants. And I always say, get the players that the manager wants. And you've got to remember, there's an international break after the first 3 games. So it may be a case of the first 3 games, ease him in, bring him off the bench, get him fit in that 2-week international break. In fact, he'll be away with Spain, so it'll be difficult, actually. So, yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be playing that much until September, October. Clement said, I'm not excited by his £35 million deal to get us Merino because it took the club almost a month to get his contract done with Sociedad. I'm just happy to have him in the squad. Trick said, yo, Curtis Jokeres is a baller. I've been watching him for a while. Family are Coventry fans. I followed him since then. He's literally so good. Let's see if Arsenal make a late move for him. H said, I'm bored of the Merino thing. Get me a forward. Yeah, international breaks coming up, man, which is boring and frustrating. He better not be Ceballos Part 2. I think he'll be better than him. Stronger, more physical. He's been in the Premier League as well. Yes, now, Chargy. Big season for me. I'm 10 times better than Martin Smelly, said Leandro Trossard. And just the height and physical presence is exciting because you're now looking at it going, right, we're going to have a 4 in terms of central midfielders of Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Mikel Merino, and Jorginho. That, for me, is a solid 4. Don't get me wrong, I would like to see Jorginho go next season and bring in a 4th one who's equally as good. Partey may even go next season as well. He's only got a year left. But that, for me, if Merino is what we hope he is, that is a solid 4. So I'm looking at the team now going, Raya and Ramsdale, we're good in goal unless Ramsdale leaves. The back 4, I mean, we're overloaded with defenders. The defence is solid. We had the best defence and you've still signed Calafiore and Timbers back. You look in midfield now, Merino, Partey, Jorginho, Rice, we're good. Odegaard, I do think we could do with another creative midfielder because if Odegaard was to get injured, I would be very concerned. Smith Rowe's gone. Vieira hasn't been good enough. Is Waneri, is he ready to fill that role? I would love to see an Eze or somebody like that coming. But for me, it's just that striker. I don't have that same confidence in the forward line, and that's what I want to see addressed. And I said this the other day, we're always looking for... People say, like, for example, I say we need a striker. They go, okay, you need a world-class striker. You don't always need a world-class striker to be successful. Spain just won the Euros with Morata. Now, I don't want Morata. Let me just make that abundantly clear. But you just need somebody that fits your style, that can get you goals. And that's why I've got two thought processes with Arsenal. I've got the player that I look at as the ideal transfer, and then I look at the realistic one that we can get now that can give us an opportunity to win the league. I think the majority of the Arsenal fan base would say, I would have loved to have seen Isak come to Arsenal this summer. I think he fits us perfectly. You know, he just looks like an Arsenal player the way he moves on the ball. But we're not going to get Isak this summer. So in that case, you've got to look at alternatives. Osimhen's going to end up at Chelsea. So you're then looking at probably Gyökeres. I've mentioned Ivan Toney a number of times. I would take Ivan Toney. You know, you guys know I'm a fan of him and I think he would do well. But the club clearly don't seem to be looking at him for whatever reason. So the one that seems to be available that we should be targeting is Gyökeres. Now, I don't know truly how good he is. I've watched him a few times at the back end of last season, and I've also, seen him a couple of times for Sweden. So a lot of you guys may know more than me about him, but we have to get business done. And we have to get a striker, in my opinion. We have to. If Tony is that good, why haven't any big clubs gone for him? Listen, it's a great question. It's a great question. You could say the same thing about Gyökeres. Nobody's actually made an offer for him. I couldn't tell you what that answer is. I really couldn't. Big up Fitz in the chat. Hope you're well, bro. I'm so annoyed at the useless Edu that if I appeared on your member stream, I'd explode. He still needs a centre mid, right winger, and a striker. This needs to happen, but won't. The lack of ambition is putrid. Big up to you, Fitz, bro. And Sparsh said, loving your content, Big C. New subscriber here. I appreciate your honesty and banter on here. Big up your damn self. It's interesting. It is interesting. Somebody just put a tweet up, and I wanted to bring that up. There we go. Niffin again, big up. Arsenal are trying to bring in 2 to 3 more players. Unsure if this includes Merino. This is coming from Team News and Tickets. I mean, he's usually quite good, but not always. So don't take that as gospel. I believe that Arsenal will sign Merino, try and sell a couple of players, and then go and get at least 1 more, 2 if Ramsdale goes for the goalkeeper. So I'm hanging on in hope that we will address that attack. If we don't, I'm concerned, but we'll see. Right, let's move on. Let's move on, people. Let's talk Eddie Nketiah. He's still here. We still haven't got rid of him. He is being linked with other clubs, but I don't want to get too excited. Dharmesh Chef reported this morning on Sky Sports, Nottingham Forest, my hometown, are interested in signing Arsenal's 25-year-old striker. Can I repeat, people? He's 25 years of age. We talk about this guy like he's 18 and just come out of the under-23s. Like real talk. We got to be realistic about this guy. He's 25 years of age, Edward. Nottingham Forest. Now, apparently, again, the report's stating that Forest would only want to pay around £20 million for him because of the wage. And I said this a number of times, and I argued this on Twitter with people. Oh, Eddie, they think Eddie's worth 30 million plus. Bro, the wage is what makes it so difficult. Because the reality is, no big club in England is going to try and sign Eddie Nketiah. That's the reality. That's why he wanted Marseille, because Marseille was a very big football club. So he's going to go to a club in the bottom half of the table. Now, if you're asking for £30 million, that's a lot of money. You're then asking for 100 grand a week. That is a lot of money. And unfortunately, you're unsure what you're getting. So I think a lot of clubs are, hesitant to pay that kind of money for him with the wage as well. So I honestly think that this is how crazy Arsenal are. Arsenal rejected 23 million from Marseille in terms of pounds. 27 million euros, 23 million pounds. But I actually wouldn't be surprised if we sell him for less than that. I remember I said it before, we did it with Kieran Gibbs. We rejected 12 million from West Brom and then we sold him to West Brom for 7 million. We rejected the 20 million from Wolves for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He ended up leaving for nothing. Don't be surprised if Eddie goes for 20 million, because I'm not sure you're going to get that 25, 30 million that they think he's worth. And I think as the window goes on, you would have to take 20 million for him, because I think keeping him is worse than selling him for less than the club think he's worth, because he's blocking Arsenal doing more business. I'm convinced Arsenal cannot buy a striker while we have Nketiah, Jesus and Havertz at this football club. Because how can you justify that? How can you go to the owner and go, I want a striker? Well, he's going to go, well, hang on, Havertz on 275, Jesus on 200 and Eddie's on 100. You better sell one of them before you come to me and ask for a striker. That's just business. So, Southern Goon, I hope you're well, bro. Go and subscribe to him. He said, Curtis, I've been telling people all summer, 12 to 16 is what he's leaving for. It's unbelievable that we thought 23 million pounds was an insult. It was the jackpot. We looked at it as an insult. It was the jackpot. 100 grand a week freed up, 23 million in the kitty. And like you just said there, MLK, we get the sacred 14 back. And you save it until you have a star player or you retire it. You hang it up and say, that's it. We're never getting a better player in the 14 shirt than Thierry ever again. And don't put it on no one's back. That's where I'm at with it, people. So, but we'll see. Bournemouth were interested, but they've signed Evan Nielsen. So I'm looking at it as Forest, and somebody said it in the comments. The only thing that makes me think I'm not sure whether this deal has got legs to it. Forest have got Awoniyi, who they bought for, decent money from Liverpool. And they've got Chris Wood, who they paid, I think, 12 to 15 million from Newcastle. I don't see how do Forest sign a third striker, give him 100 grand a week. They only signed Chris Wood last season, and Awoniyi is their number one striker. Are they going to have 3 strikers on their books? I'm not sure. So let's see what happens with that. It might even be that we have to loan him with an obligation, just so we know. Palace are looking at him as well, but again, you look at Palace, Mateta, Edouard, and Ayew can play up front. So they've got 2 strikers in Edouard and Mateta, so I don't know. Oh yeah, Awoniyi was from Union Berlin, you're right. He played for Liverpool when he was younger, correct. I stand corrected on that. Appreciate that. Sam, thank you for the super chat. Arteta's contract ends at the end of this season. No extension agreed yet. We can't get him to extend early. How much more? What was that? We can't. Arteta's contract ends at the end of this season. No extension agreed yet. We can't even get him to extend early. How much more time? You know what you got to think? That's a very good point, actually. We all assume Arteta would have signed his contract by now. He hasn't, which is interesting. Is that affecting transfer business? Because if Arteta wants to sign me, I'm going, what's happening with your contract? Your contract's up in a year. Imagine I sign for you and in 12 months' time, there's a new manager who doesn't like my style of football. That's another interesting angle. Is Arteta actually... A lot of us have looked at Arteta and said, listen, is he good enough? Should we upgrade? Arteta might be looking at Arsenal sideways. Listen, I've questioned Arteta a number of times. He's been linked with PSG. He's been linked with Barcelona. They haven't actually made an offer for him, but there could be clubs in the background saying, listen, man, let that contract run out, because if you're available in the summer and we don't have to pay compensation, we'll give you that job. So that's the other angle. And listen, I haven't been Arteta's biggest fan, but if he... And I said this on Talking Transfers yesterday on AFTV, and I said it on my show. I think the club, whether that's the owners or whether that's Edu, I think they've let Arteta down in this summer window, to be honest. I think they've let him down. The season starts tomorrow and we've signed 1 player. So something isn't working. Whether it all happens at the end of the window and they're waiting for a domino effect, I don't know. Yeah, people saying you look red, bro. I adjusted some settings on the camera and now I'm looking hella red. I look like Red Man. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on, but we'll adjust it tomorrow, you know. That's why I had to balance it out with the blue. If I'd have turned up in all red, I'd have looked like a tomato. It's crazy. Big up Sam. Wham, said, Big C, I reckon the only addition after Merino will be a wide player. Reality is we need a finisher, someone who scores goals from nothing, turns a draw into a win. Listen, I'm completely in agreement. I want a striker as the number one priority. At the moment, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen, but maybe if Eddie goes, maybe it creates an opportunity, but we'll have to see. We have to hang tight. Texas Cannons, I'm concerned City have a big signing coming. No doubt. No doubt. They got 80 million for Alvarez. Do you think Pep's going to sit there and just play Haaland? What happens if Haaland gets injured? Who's his striker? Nah. They're going into the market. They're going to buy someone. So we can't sit here and think, oh, City haven't done business. City have signed Savio, who's one of the best wingers in La Liga last season. And I'm telling you, they'll go for an attacking player to replace Alvarez. Emmanuel, I think Arteta is waiting to see what the club does first. Yeah, maybe, Emmanuel, you could be right. And Sparsh said, your point about retaining our talent by winning trophies was valid. We need to invest in the squad to keep our best players 2 or 3 away from silverware. Edu needs to get going. Big up Sparsh. And you know the thing, and I spoke about this the other day, the thing what's so frustrating is, hey, you lot are destroying me in the chat. Only way is Essex. Big Red Riding Hood. I'm getting hammered for this. It's a filter, people. It's made me look red. I'll sort it out tomorrow. But hey, no, Sparsh, you're right. The thing what's frustrating is I'm now sitting here as an Arsenal fan going, you know what? We only need 2 or 3 players. I think we can win the league. Like, genuinely, I can have that confidence that we can do Manchester City. Let's say you get Merino in, Calafiori's in. I think then you get a top quality striker. I think we can win the league. Probably a right winger as well. So I'd say we're 2 or 3 signings away from me saying, I think we can win it. But are we going to get those? I really hope we do. I really, really hope we do. Yeah, the banter will be continuing in the comments. I'm being annihilated. But, you know, I'll take it on board, people. I'll take it on board. I'll be adjusting them settings shortly. Don't forget, I will have a video out later on today, which gives you all my predictions. Who's going to win the league, top scorer, best signing, manager of the season, relegated, all of that stuff. Pre-recorded video. That will be out early evening tonight, people. So look out for that one. And get involved in the comments with that. And give me your thoughts later on when you see my predictions. Get in the comments. Tell me who you think's going to win. Also, if you want to get in the Fantasy League, we're going to do a prize for the winner. It is pinned in the comments. So click that link. The code is there. Get involved. Whoever wins that, you will win something as well. And also, we will keep up to date with that on a regular basis. LK said, how many girls in the chat, I wonder? As a female subscriber, I do comment, and Curtis acknowledges and replies, and I appreciate it. Watching since dot along days. Hey, big up, man. Appreciate it. Hey, big up all the gal them in the chat as well, you know. Community settings, and yeah, I think it does tell you when you go in your analytics where people are from in the world, the age range, and whether it's men or women. So yeah, it'd be interesting that. Curtis moving like Red Hulk. You lot are not easy in a red card. Look at this. You lot are moving mad. Benny Blanco. I'm gonna end this stream early today. I'm not having it. You lot are annihilating me today. Red man settings, man. It's crazy. It is red. Hey, redskin boy. Redskin. British. That's what they call me in Jamaica. Redskin you. What? They're not easy, man. They're not easy in Jamaica, I'll tell you that. Hope everyone's safe. Apparently, there's a small earthquake there today. Hope everyone is good over there. Let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale. Rambo. Will I stay or should I go? Do. What do we do with Aaron Ramsdale? 100 grand a week. Do you keep him and say, okay, let's just not worry about him too much. Let's be selfish and have 2 top quality goalkeepers, right? That doesn't help him necessarily, but It definitely helps us because it's great to have two goalkeepers. That is for sure. What do we do? Now, Ben Jacobs, who I'm hoping to get on the show in the next 2 weeks, friend of the channel, been on here many times, said Ajax and Aaron Ramsdale deal is complicated. Ajax need to sell to meet Arsenal's demands. Ajax are still trying to find a solution. There are talks about a loan with an obligation to buy, but Ajax remain in talks and the player is keen on the move. Now, I would expect Ramsdale to... And that's a good point there, you know. He could go in January, but I think it could be a loan with an obligation. That then, I think you're going to see a lot of loans with obligations in the next 2 weeks around the whole transfer window. Because clubs are sort of saying, listen, bro, I'm going to give you 30 million, but give me 12 months to figure it out. Clubs are struggling with this profit and sustainability. So, no, man said you took the red stripes to another level. Oh, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. I think Ramsdale will be keen to go. I think obviously, Ajax is still a big football club. They are only in the Conference League, which is a shame for them rather than the Champions League. But he will obviously know what's his name? Mine's gone blank. Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson is there. He will know him from the international days of playing for England. So get a bit of insight into what it's like over there. Listen, I've been to Amsterdam. I've seen this stadium. Big stadium, good training ground, blah, blah, blah. And it's an opportunity for him. Listen, 2 years ago, he's playing for Sheffield United in the Championships. Ajax is still a big football club, still in Europe, so I think it would be a good move for him right now. Somebody's not happy in the comments. Here we go. Don88, you've paid. Let's hear what you got to say. He's fuming on this Friday. He said, as a black African from South London, you're starting to jar me with this Eddie hate. You can say you've got no hate for him, but you're doing too much dumb jokes. 3 days you've been ripping him. I mean, Don88, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest. It's not 3 days. It's probably 33 days, people. Listen, I'm here all week, Don. I'm here all week. When you said 3 days, I said, rah, he ain't tuned in the last 3 months. I don't hide it, people. Eddie gets bantered on this channel. It's a fact. Eddie Murphy coming to America. The Prince Zamunda. We're going to America to find my queen, Akeem. There's no hate for Eddie, bro. Information and entertainment. If you don't like it, other channels are available. Go on YouTube, type them in. They'll tell you how good a player Eddie Nketiah is. He's an England international. Other channels are available. My advice to you, first of all, thank you for the £10. There's an X in that top right-hand corner. If you don't like what's being said on this channel, my friend, click that X and leave through the exit. We're in subscriber-only mode, which means you've subscribed to the channel as well. There's no hate. If you think it's hate, then you've got the wrong angle, my friend. Appreciate the £10. But we will... one thing I can say for sure, if Eddie is still an Arsenal player beyond this window, there will still be Eddie jokes on this channel. So, you know what I mean? If you're of a nervous disposition, you ain't going to like what you hear beyond the transfer window. There will be Eddie banter on this channel. It will continue. But thank you for the £10. Who's the picture? You've got R9 in your picture, by the way, Don. And let's also have this conversation. You got... in my opinion, the greatest striker that has ever played the game as your profile picture. Yet you're annoyed with me for bantering Eddie. What is going on? Listen, thank you for the £10, but hold that time out, bro. Hold it. I don't care if you paid £10. Hold that 3 minutes time out, man. You deserve it. Go on the naughty step. £10 to go to time out, Don. Nah, man, you got to hold that. You got R9 in your picture. You're going mad about Eddie. Eddie's not ready, bro. Eddie's not ready. 3 minutes, come back. We'll have a conversation. Right, let's continue, people. Let's continue. Buju, I'm redder than red, bro. I don't know what's going on, but big up your damn self. Yo, the filter. I tried to change some settings on the camera. Man's looking right like red man. Hey, you get it? Yo, it's all mad. It's all mad. Sparsh, what are your thoughts on Chiesa as a right wing option? We could get him as a cut price. He's not part of Juve's plans. I saw an article today saying that Chiesa could be available for £15 million. If we get to the end of the window, maybe 3 or 4 days to go, and we still need a right winger, I think you would have to consider it, to be honest. I think you would have to. It's so cheap. But he hasn't looked the same player. That's the problem. He just hasn't looked the same player since the injury. But big up to you, Sparsh. Sam said Edu put Ramsdale on a bigger contract than Ederson, then went to buy Raya. That sort of negotiation skills and poor planning should be sackable. It's true. Why did Ramsdale get such a big contract? The guy was coming from Sheffield United. Ederson's a Brazilian international, a 4-time Champions League, a 4-time Premier League winner, and a 1-time Champions League winner. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Curtis is ruthless. Hey, listen, man. Information and entertainment, people. People saying I look red with rage. But yeah, Chiesa, maybe a bit of desperation, but that's why we love you. See, Eddie out. Get him out. The Prince of Zamunda. Hercules. I'm telling you, we're running Eddie jokes all season, people, if he stays it. This ain't the place. If you're a big Eddie fan, I'm afraid. I see you're ready for the season, says Marty. I mean, Marty, it's a dad joke. You've done me. Yeah, okay, I'll accept it. It's the kind of joke I would have ran as a dad joke as well. Guna Jenk said, my account TKA is still hidden content super chat. I'll look into that, bro. Did I say send me an email, curtisshawtv@hotmail.com, just in case I forget, and I will look into why that got blocked. Maybe one of the mods did it. I'm not sure. Odeon said, do an extra Diddy joke for £2. Diddy, bro, I don't even... Are the Diddy jokes still running? I don't even know. Nobody even says no Diddy anymore, do they? I don't even know, bro. But big up for the super chat. And Sam said, Rob Holding loves the club. He does a job. Where is he now? Same will happen to Eddie. Let's stop defending crap players. I agree. I'm sorry. I'm in that same thing. Oh, Holding's a good squad player. He trains well. Went to Palace. Roy Hodgson couldn't believe how bad he was. He'll end up in the Championship, bro. That's the reality with Rob Holding. So let's just keep it a buck here. These guys aren't good enough. Right, let's move on. Where we at now? You're in Timber. Timber is back. And yeah, by the way, I do have Hotmail in 2024. I told you I'm old school, people. I don't even have a Gmail account. I'm straight up Hotmail. I've got 2 Hotmail accounts. I've had them for years, and I ain't gone nowhere. I got no Gmail account, people. People can't believe it when I say Hotmail. Yeah, Urian Timber will be part of the squad to face Wolves tomorrow. I ain't got a Nokia, though. I ain't got a Nokia. He will be part of the squad, which is good. Which is good news. We need him involved. And when did Curtis morph into red? Yo, it's my, hey, you yelling at the tight up skirt. You make me answer. Yo, them old school bangers, you know. I saw Red Rat at Carnival in Nottingham years ago. And it was a banging set that he did, to be honest. But yeah, still uses dial-up, bro. Who do you think is going down this year? Bro, keep an eye on my show later on. I'll give you all my predictions. It'll all be in the show. I'll tell you my top 4 title winners, top goal scorer, manager of the season, all of that. Check that out. It'll be out early evening. Right, the transcript is out. So if you're peckish, you'll be full up after this, people. It is waffle settings for the first time for the 24-25 season. Are we going to win the league? Are we going to see armpits from Martin Odegaard? Are you going to lift silverware other than the Emirates Cup? Please, do you know the thing what is so frustrating? When your club hits a hot streak, and you're one of the big clubs, obviously, you're supposed to see trophies, right? Man U obviously had hot streaks, late 90s, early 2000s. Trophies, trophies, trophies. Arsenal under Wenger, multiple trophies, apart from the Champions League. Klopp had a hot streak. He won every trophy over his time period. Pep's cleaning up with trophies. Chelsea have won multiple trophies over the last, 10 to 15 years. I look at Arsenal now and go, yo, we're supposed to be hitting a hot streak here the last couple of years. We're one of the best teams in Europe. Where's the trophies at, brother? Where's them trophies at? You know what I'm saying? You're picking pockets, but you ain't lifting up silverware. Win something this season, Mikel. Win something. That's all I'm interested in right now. I can't lie. This club has to win trophies this season. Nothing else matters for me from an Arsenal perspective. Finishing second, all of that. I can't jump on that as a positive. Hey, Don88, he's back. Come on, he's back. Right, where's he going? He said, I've been watching you since COVID and will still watch because I love the show. Have another 10. It's light for me. I'm not an Eddie fan, but come on, allow the guy. And I get you, bro. Some people think I'm too harsh on him. You know what? You know how it is on here, bro. You know how it is. Honestly, I have no problem with Eddie on a personal level. I just don't think he's good enough. And I think we need to sell him to buy somebody else. I was the same with El Neni. I was the same with Cedric. It's there. But big up, bro. I'm glad you took it well. And appreciate the super chat. Right, let's move on. Let's go through the waffle. Get comfortable. Get the syrup ready. Waffle season is back. I feel like I know Arteta now. I've been sat in them press conferences. It's sad, though. You come back to England, can't get anywhere near that press conference. John Cross and all them guys, they don't want it. You know what I mean? Go to America, I'm in them press conferences. But, hey, let's see what they're asking. I thought I asked decent questions this year, to be honest. But, hey, is what it is. Right, let's move on. By the way, this kit, I can't get my head around that kit, that third kit. It just looks like that Monsters, Inc. monster wearing it. I just can't. I don't think you'll see me in that kit this season at all. Right. Oh, they've changed the writing, people. The writing's been upgraded. They've upgraded it. Leicester City won a trophy, exactly. Are you happy you met him? Yeah, why not? He's the Arsenal manager. Meet him. I only spoke to him for probably, 10, 15 seconds, but why not? Will Timber be fit? Urian will be in the squad tomorrow. He's had a tough period. But he used it in a great way, I think, because he's managed to get a lot of things done, improved in many areas except playing. He found it really helpful. Now he's ready and he has a chance. ESPN rated Arteta the 4th best manager in the world. I think that's a little bit high, to be honest. You've got Pep, you've got Klopp, you've got Ancelotti. That's your top 3 straight away. Is he then the 4th best manager in the world without ever winning a title? I don't think you can say that, to be honest. I think you've still got to put the likes of Emery and Co above him. Xabi Alonso's just been invincible. So, yeah, we'll see. On if Fabio Vieira will be fit, we will check him now after training, see how he is. He looked to adapt. I mean, it's pretty... No disrespect. He hardly kicks a ball anyway, does he? But listen, I want the full squad available. And if Tomiyasu and Tierney are a bit further behind, there will be a few weeks. That is interesting. What is going to happen with Kieran Tierney? I think he'll probably get loaned out at the end. Yeah, Inzaghi as well won Serie A. So he can't be. And Simeone, yeah. Zidane, yeah, there's no way he's top 4. He's not even top 6 or 7, to be honest. When I really think about it. People have had far bigger achievements. Are there any other injury concerns? He says no. On if we are ready for the start of the season. He said, we're really excited. We've been missing the competition for many weeks. It's too long for us. We are so willing to start, so enthusiastic. We had a challenge in pre-season. We managed to adapt. It was a great challenge for everyone. Different groups, stadiums and conditions. We took it as an opportunity and a good challenge, and we look sharp. I think they have. On Saliba getting to a club record 50 wins in 65 games. That's if we win tomorrow. It'll be club history, apparently. He said, yep, we have to earn the right to beat a good Wolves side. Hopefully we can achieve that. Saliba is just, what a player. To think we paid £27 million for him. Just unbelievable. You have to give Emery credit. He did sign him. On Mikel taking 77 games to get to 50 wins with Arsenal, he said, that's why we are so much better than we used to be. Mindful said, Xabi Alonso is not better than Arteta. I mean, listen, until Arteta has the achievement, I think it's a difficult argument to win because Xabi Alonso can say, I've just taken over Leverkusen and won the title ahead of Bayern Munich. And I won it invincible, and I got to a Europa League final, and I got to the German Cup final. I think you have to say the guy with the trophies is the better one for now. On his methods trying to keep the players sharp, this is the demands we put on them internally, that they have much higher so that any other team can put us in any position. We feel the pressure, and that's the level we hit every day. If we do that, then our levels will increase. On rumours surrounding Mikel Merino, he said, you know that I cannot talk about any other players. Hey, have you not learnt, my friend? Don't ask this guy directly about players. He won't tell you anything. But it's worth a try, I suppose. On rumours surrounding Mikel Merino, yeah, on whether he wants to strengthen his midfield. He said, I said after last season we had two objectives. The main one and the most important one is to make sure we are still very much in love with our players and find ways to improve them. That is the main thing. Then if there are certain opportunities in the market to improve the squad, certainly we have to look at that. That's what we will be trying to do. I just hope that's more than one player, because I think Arsenal need at least two more players. If that's the centre mid and the striker, then I think that gives us an opportunity. But we'll see. We'll see. On whether more players will leave in the window, he said the market is open. Things can happen. It's a possibility. I think a couple at least will go. What it takes to win the league after breaking club records in 2023. Break more of those records again. Earn more points, because it won't be enough with the level we are competing with. Every season is getting harder. We are going to have to improve again for sure. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. And it just shows how difficult football can be, that Arsenal, got a record-breaking amount of points and didn't win the league. We got more points than the Invincibles and didn't win the league, which is crazy. But it shows the standard that Manchester City have set now, On being perfect to win the league, he said, I don't know what perfect is, but it has to be very close with the numbers we've seen. On competing for the title again, he said, it's great when you look in your head, you see everything we are doing, and everybody is enthusiastic. That willingness to improve, to get better, keep pushing each other, look for higher ceilings. What I think everybody needs is motivating and inspiring. Every day is something new to look at. We've created that culture. On keeping himself motivated, looking around, the people I work with every day, they are ready. Their ability to make you put a smile on your face regardless of what happens. This is where the waffling starts. On the Wolves test, it's really tough. We have a big challenge. Gary O'Neill, blah, blah, blah. On the hunger of our players, on the last day of last season, we had a gathering together with all the players. They were coming to me and saying, we are going to do it next year. We are going to be better. I like that. They got to prove it. On the connection between players and supporters, he said, we need to make another step this season from last season, from day one. If we can create that, give them reasons to feel that way. Let's skip it. On his feelings ahead of a new title challenge, again, very excited. You're trying to climb the highest mountain. It's the most difficult league in the world. You feel surrounded by a lot of people who have the same ambition. On the players keeping themselves fit, last season it was a big issue. We were short on numbers. Thank God that we had Ben, William and Gabby fully fit for the whole season. You cannot replicate that 2 seasons in a row, which is why he's got Calafiori and Timbers back. On if the boss is putting pressure on himself to win the title, he said, for me, it's the enthusiasm to do better. Certain tasks are already done. The last one is winning. So, yeah, he definitely has to. On being better than last year, for me, it's far from perfection. The team still has levels to reach. You need a reason to believe that. I've seen it every day, the way they train. Let's skip that. And if we have to dip into the market to buy a striker, yes, that is the question. He said, we have great strikers already. We have a great attacking lineup. You better be saying that just to big up the players that are at the football club. If you mean that genuinely, I will be fuming. Let's be realistic without being disrespectful. We do not have great strikers. We do not. Havertz is a natural attacking midfielder who is doing a decent job up front. He's not a great striker. And Gabriel Jesus, a fantastic football player, he is not a great striker. So saying we have a great attacking lineup, no. Now, he's not going to come out, I understand, he's not going to come out and say, listen, our strikers aren't great and our attack isn't great. He's not going to say that. But let's not pretend we've got something that we don't. We have a decent attack, you know. And if Ben White will be back in the England squad, I asked him that and he said maybe. So I already know the answer, bro. He said that's a question for the England manager and Ben to discuss. I think he will be back in the England squad. On PGMOL's rule change, which somebody mentioned at the start of the show, we will try all the time to play within the rules. Obviously, they're saying this year the referees are going to be stricter on players pushing and pulling from set pieces. So I think they're going to give free kicks against the attacking teams a lot more than last season. So obviously Arsenal scored a lot of goals last season from set pieces. So we'll have to be careful. On Kieran Tierney's injury and transfer speculation, he needs to focus on recovering in the best possible way. It's been a tough time for him again with the last injury. We have to try and support him. On players returning earlier from the Euros compared to other clubs, I think we all have different plans throughout the season. Let's skip it. On the additional options like Waneri and Skelly, he said yes for sure. We also have Timbo, who we lost for 11 months. Miles, Ethan and Aiden did well in pre-season. They are certainly going to be training with us. Any changes to how young players hold themselves? What I love most is their attitudes and personalities. Getting the most out of all the players. The main focus for me and the coaching staff is those fine margins. Wow, he is seriously waffling here. I'm half asleep reading this. Fantasy code says invalid. Well, I've seen loads of people have joined, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. Apologies. I don't know why. I've just checked, and a lot of you have joined. Loads of you have joined, so it should work. Just double check that you got all the letters and numbers right. On using pain as motivation, there are moments you have to accept that somebody else has been better. That's sport. We want to get to where they are at the moment, and that's inspiring. On the support for the season, it was great in the US, the stadiums. There was a huge support. We've had the last 2 games at home. I expect another level. Gaining confidence from pre-season. We now have to go game by game. Competing for points in the most difficult league, we have to prove we are better than last year. Oh, my days. That was painful to just read. We know that the pre-game press conference is always a lot longer than the post-game, so I expected it to be like that. But damn, that was a snooze fest. Absolutely painful. For all of you who are still awake, we're going to do a predicted lineup for tomorrow. Troy said the league ain't the only trophy available. And that's it, bro. We got 4 trophies to go for. League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League and the Premier League. There's no excuse. Arsenal have to lift the trophy this season. Right, let's finish off. How do we line up tomorrow? I think this is very straightforward. I'm going to be honest. I think it's very straightforward. I personally think we're going to see the lineup that played against Lyon, which is David Raya in goal, which is Gabriel Magalhaes left centre-back, which is William Saliba right centre-back, which is Ben White at right back, and I do think Zinchenko will start at left back, just because Timber's just come back to training and Calafiori still hasn't played yet. I just don't think he's going to throw Calafiori in for his debut straight away. He could, but I don't think he will. I think Partey will start as the more defensive-minded midfielder, and then I think you will have Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. I think that will give Rice license to go and join in. I think he... See, in that Leverkusen game, Trossard was absolutely fantastic. But I think he will go with Martinelli because I think he knows that the reality with Trossard is probably... I think we're looking at Martinelli and thinking, can he go to a higher level? He's 21 years of age. You feel like there's a potential superstar there, but he needs to sort of go back to where he was 2 years ago. with Trossard, he cost 27 mil. He's nearly 30. I think he's been brought in to be a fantastic squad player. He's in the chat. He said, I'm amazing. Big me up, see, so I can get a start, man. Don't be a hater. I think he'll go with Martinelli. I think based off how Trossard played against Leverkusen and how he finished the season, there is definitely an argument, and he may go with Trossard, but I just think he's going to go Martinelli, if I'm being honest. Right wing will be Bukayo Saka. And up front, despite the fact Jesus started a lot of games in pre-season, I think he will go with Kai Havertz. The only other thing that I'm thinking he might do, he could play Havertz in midfield with Odegaard and put Rice where Partey is and then put Jesus up front. He's done that in a couple of games in pre-season. So he could drop Partey, put Rice in the 6 and play Havertz and Odegaard as attacking midfielders and then put Jesus up front. What do you guys think in the comments? What do you think he's going to do? Not what you want to see. What do you think the manager's actually going to go for? I think he'll go for this, but maybe... Maya said that's the lineup 100%. Nick said, I'm not excited for the coming season. I think we've missed our chance to win the league over the past 2 seasons. I'm not convinced we can go further and win the league. I think a lot will depend on what happens in the next 2 weeks of the window. Certainly hope it's not Partey at right back. That was a disaster last season. Cliffo said, I'm not excited seeing Zinni at all. We don't need 9 defenders. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Calafiori didn't play much, because the fact he cost £40 million, you might have thought he would have fast-tracked him into the team, but I think he showed us that he's still a big fan of Zinchenko. Yeah, member stream was supposed to be today. It will be Sunday or Monday. Definitely Sunday or Monday, people. Watch along tomorrow, and then we'll do it Sunday or Monday. If he puts Partey at right back, I want to speak to the manager. He can't play him there. Eros said 100% on that lineup. That's what I think he'll go for. People, thank you very much for tuning in today. Apologies if I look like a Red Riding Hood. We changed the some of the what's it called? The settings on the camera, and it made me look red. OG stream. OG's is back Monday, I think, as well. So we'll do that Monday night. So we'll get back into that. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. to talk the build-up to the game. And then the game will start at 3 o'clock. Tonight, I'll have my predictions video out early evening tonight. Watch that. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Who's going to win the league? Top 4, relegated, all of that stuff. Top goal scorer. So look out for that. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. for the watch-along. And we'll get down to business. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy your Friday. Take care. And I'll see you all tomorrow, everyone. Bless.